testing out the first ever 10x17 stretch. We make a 10x17 model as part of our Apex line of trampolines. We had a customer call in and she wanted something a little bit different. So we said, absolutely, we've never done it before, but we've never done lots of things before until we did them. And this is a 10x22. Now, the 10x17, the reason it's so common with lots of trampoline manufacturers is it's basically a very similar standard size to gymnastics. It has about a 7x14 jumping surface area, which is what diving, gymnastics, all those kind of professional sports use to train on. So naturally, most full-size rectangular trampoline manufacturers now offer something like that. Well, I've been wanting to do this as a prep project for a while now to make something basically unlimited length potential. We have our whole multi-tramp system that's built around this frame as well, and I knew it was lacking a tumble track version. So here we go, custom project I get paid to play, and this is the result. Now she asked for a 10x20. I said, well, the way we designed our frame, the 10x17 is basically the bleeding edge of its engineered strength to support that surface and be a very rigid, strong frame. So I knew we were gonna have to go basically the route of a central support leg to reinforce the structure and keep it nice and stiff and strong all the way down. I said my hunch is we can get an extra 5 feet out of that if we're gonna go that route. I had to get custom steel in anyways. We only carry steel long enough for basically our 10x17. And boy, I tell you, that was the hardest problem to solve. Typically a custom project will turn around within a week. I think I went 2.5 weeks for this. The steel was so bloody hard to get. The manufacturer, we get a very specific type of steel for this project. It's manufactured in the States. The mill had none on the floor. We had to go to one of their customers to actually find a length that was long enough to make this project happen. So we finally got that in. When did we get that in, Sasha? Like 3 days ago, 4 days ago?
Yeah, 4 days ago.
Yeah, so now it's done. And a full enclosure to boot. You don't need to get an enclosure for these. They can be just above ground normal. However, enclosures are very common, and especially in this case, because of that now central support leg, we don't have the same clearance. So to maintain our original safety gap and space there between the jumping surface and the ground normally, but now that the frame's there, we had to boot the whole frame up by 5 inches. So you're 5 inches higher. Again, it's better to do it this way. Alternatively, you can also drop it right in the ground. Those have become super popular. We're doing a lot more builds that way now too. But of course, then you have the added project of doing a full pit, retaining wall, all that kind of stuff. It is simpler and cheaper just to go above ground with an enclosure. Now, as with all of our Apex builds, especially custom, we test fit everything before we send it out, make sure everything's perfect, ready to go for the customer. As this is a custom trampoline, it's also a custom enclosure. So we're double checking that as well. Now, all of our Apex systems feature solid, it's a really high quality foam, 2 inches thick, 20 inches wide, fully covers our beefy frame system. And as this is a performance tune, we also have 9-inch piano wire, music wire springs. Super durable, great performance. And then we pair that with a high airflow surface, which is also great if you're ever going to consider an in-ground application, because dropping the trampoline in-ground, it's surprising how much air the system moves when you're jumping. So you drop it in the ground, you really choke it out. So a high airflow surface helps mitigate some of that effect. You can see here also the pads have a crazy interconnection system. While they Velcro all the way around the perimeter of the frame, nice adhesive Velcro on the frame, these come on and off really easy. But in all the joints, they have an overlapping 4-inch Velcro connection. So this is a flap that connects to the bottom of this pad, and this is another flap that doubles back over to really lock in hard. So there's absolutely no way you're ever, even if you landed right here, you would never break through that seam. This customer wanted our boreal pad set, so it's nice green, and they paired it with a lime green high-vis webbing. This is used for 2 different things. Well, 3 different things really. A, it's aesthetic, it looks awesome. B, when you're doing flips, that flash of contrasting color helps you spot your landing midair, which is nice. And then for little kids, it's nice as well, because you basically say, hey guys, stay within that perimeter. That's your safe bouncing area. Keeps them away from the edges, which is nice. Our enclosures feature a nice design that wraps around the leg. There's no measuring. You simply line up the bends. One clamp goes as far down here as you can. The other clamp goes as far down here as you can. And the other one goes up here as high as you can. We're being a little fast and loose because we're just test fitting this real quickly here. But yeah, normally you get 3 clamps, and that's how you space them. So these are rock solid. You're basically shaking the trampoline before you actually twist the pole. Heavy-duty fencing clamps are actually way easier to work with than many other competitor systems out there that use U-bolt. You're fussing around with those. These are nice heavy-duty fencing clamps made in Texas. And we even have special custom ones to work around the big oversized 3-inch 12-gauge pipe that we use for these central support legs. I mentioned this is a performance tune, which is awesome. It's kind of our level 3 tune. We have our standard basic tune. We have a tune that's designed for small children that don't weigh very much and still want to have a nice great bounce. Then we have this guy with our piano wire springs. And one step above this is our crazy tune, which is basically the closest you can get to a professional, high performance trampoline in the Apex line. If you truly want a performance gymnastics level trampoline, cruise over to our Alpha line, and that's where you get the 2-string Super Tramp surfaces and the 1-string Hyper Tramp surfaces that we've just come out with. And again, as explained, this is our Apex system, so it's part of our whole Apex multi-tramp family. They use modular components, which make this be able to actually expand. You can transform this into a multi-tramp. This might be a little trickier because it's a custom size, but the Apex line of trampolines in general, if you buy one of our standards, you can always convert it to a double or triple or a split. Lots of fun things down the road. And again, these can be above ground trampolines. These can be with or without enclosures. They can be in ground as well. And we can work with you or your landscaper to get that done. They are a ton of fun in ground, truly giving your backyard that built-in look. We've certainly designed these after our trampoline park systems. They're commercial quality for your backyard, but they're also designed to look like a beautiful feature, a built-in feature, not just some random thing back there. Truly, they look next level when they're built flush into the ground with a retaining wall pit and everything. They can look absolutely beautiful. You guys have any questions, feel free to reach out if you want your own custom trampoline project. I'm especially happy when I get to scratch my head over a custom project like this. They're always the most fun. All this stuff is sewn right inside there. This is actually one of the last custom trampolines we are doing from this location. We're moving soon to a much bigger facility, much bigger yard. It's gonna be really cool. We've also rebranded. We were Canada Trampoline. We are now Crazy Ape Extreme Equipment because we do a lot more than just trampolines. But these are our heritage and we're very proud of the system. Products are made of almost entirely domestic materials and all the work is done locally. All the custom welding is done right in our shop. And yeah, everything you see sewn is produced right inside these walls. And now it's actually all done. So there you go. Full enclosure, all ready to go. Made in Canada. What are you doing?
I'm bouncing.
You're bouncing. That's a fun way of simulating that.
No, you're not.
Final inspections. We're going to add actually an extra set of grommets. It's such a big distance. Extra set of grommets. You can run another strap underneath in here, especially seeing as I almost flew off that side. So yeah, this is why we test fit. Everything's done. So it's perfect for when the client gets it. Because with us, y'all expect performance. What'd you think?
It's nice. It's big enough. This is 3 of me. I tested. I laid down on it. It's 3 of me. Oh, I left the phone.
So we could call it a 10 by 22, or we could just call it a 1 by 3 Windsor, apparently.
Yeah. That's a good one.
Because it is 1 Windsor wide and 3 Windsors long.
Hey.
Not a fat joke. This thing is huge. The cool thing when you stretch it out is you actually, you get all more jumping surface. So whereas the other one had a 7 by 14 surface, this is a 7 by 19 surface. That's huge difference because you've still got the same pads all the way around. This is always what I warn people about when they go too small on a trampoline. Because of the design, our exterior dimensions were, they're set. When you have a 10 by 17, it's 10 by 17. The padding, the springs, the suspension, all that, that's 20 inches. So both sides, all sides, 20 inches. So as soon as you make a trampoline bigger in any dimension, you're purely growing the jump surface area. This is just, it's huge.
This is like one of those mattresses that you can have 2 different sleepers and you won't feel the other one moving.
Oh yeah, right. Okay, fun test right here.
Fred, don't bounce me.
You can bounce.
I don't think you can.
My camera's like not even shaking. I barely feel what he's doing, and I'm not even at the end. So the cool thing with rectangular trampolines is the long sides, those are your power springs. The short sides are your stability. So he's mostly working out the side springs that he's closest to right over there. There's very little effect he's having on me. Because when I jump, I'm primarily using these springs and not those. So as we're a trampoline company, we have to say one at a time. But if you're gonna break the rules, this is about the best way to do it while on the same surface. Or just get one of our multi-tramps where you physically have more surfaces within the same overall structure. So this is effectively a tumble track at this point. You could make it narrower, or we could tune the surface to be tighter to react more like a tumble track. But the fun thing is now on our multi-tramp systems going forward, we can now incorporate a really long, fast track, tumble track style trampoline like this. So yeah, I'm excited for the first time we get one of those orders coming through. It'll be a lot of fun. And we don't need to be stuck at 22 feet long either. This one's done now. I kind of just want to do another section, go 24, 27. So realistic with this design, we can just keep building them. In trampoline parks we've done ones that are like 50, 60 feet long. We've done ones for gymnastics clubs that are 80 feet long. Yeah, really, your yard's the limit. So if you want a custom project, give us a shout, or something regular. You know, these custom ones are a bunch of extra work, but they're personally, they're a lot of fun for me. But yeah, you need some balance in your life, give us a shout. We'll get you there.
Call us.